Hello friends, welcome to my channel Legal Studies Pod. This series of contract law is useful for college law students and other law aspirants. In first lecture, I had covered the introduction part of Contract Act. Now, in this lecture, I will discuss about what is proposal, its essential conditions, types of proposals, and related case laws. So let's start. First of all, let's deal with what is proposal. So according to section 2A, the definition of proposal is given under section 2A of the Indian Contract Act. So according to section 2A of the Indian Contract Act, when one person signifies to another willingness to do or abstain from doing anything with a view to obtaining the assent of that other to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. So here the word signifies means communication. Signifies means communication. So here the word signifies means communication. When one person communicates to another his willingness. Willingness means intention. His willingness to do or abstain from doing anything means जब एक पर्सन दूसरे पर्सन को कम्युनिकेट करता है अपनी इंटेंशन किसी काम को करने के लिए या किसी काम को ना करने के लिए with a view to obtain the assent or affirmation for the doing of that act मतलब उसका व्यू होना चाहिए उसकी इंटेंशन होनी चाहिए कि वो उस पर्सन से एसेंट ले. So let's take an example. A offers to sell his car to B for rupees 3 lakh. This constitutes a proposal. Here A communicates to B his intention. What is his intention? That he wants to sell his car. So here A offers to sell his car to B. A communicates to B his intention of selling his car for rupees 3000. This constitutes a proposal. This is an example of willingness to do. Let's take another example of abstain from doing anything. Abstain from doing anything. A offers to pay B a certain amount of money. A offers to pay B a certain amount of money if B abstain from conducting business in a specified territory where A companies operate. Means यहाँ पे A ऑफर कर रहा है B को कि वो उसको कुछ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ मनी पे करेगा अगर B मना कर दे उस स्पेसिफाइड टेरिटरी में बिजनेस कंडक्ट करने से जहाँ पे A की कंपनी ऑलरेडी ऑपरेट करती है. सो दिस इज एन एग्जांपल ऑफ अब्सटेनिंग फ्रॉम डूइंग एनीथिंग. यहाँ पे A B को ऑफर कर रहा है कि वो कुछ काम ना करे. क्या ना करे? उस स्पेसिफाइड टेरिटरी में अपना बिजनेस ना खोले. Let's take another example of same. A and B have a legal dispute. A offer not to pursue further legal action against B in exchange for a settlement amount. Means A और B का कुछ लीगल डिस्प्यूट है और A ऑफर कर रहा है B को कि वो फर्दर लीगल एक्शन उसके अगेंस्ट नहीं लेगा अगर वो उसको सेटलमेंट कुछ अमाउंट दे दे. So here A signifies or communicates his willingness to B not to pursue further legal action against B in exchange for a settlement amount. So this is an example of abstain from doing anything. Now let's understand the essential condition of a valid proposal. So our next topic is essential condition of valid proposal. The first element is there must be at least two parties, one making the proposal and the other agreeing to it. The person making the proposal is called promisee, promiser, and the person agreeing to it is called promisee. This is given under section 2C of the Indian Contract Act. So the person making the proposal is called promisor and the person agreeing to it is called promisee. The next element is intention to create legal obligation. The offerer must intend to be bound by the proposal upon acceptance by the offeree. So the person making the proposal must have the intention to be bound by the proposal upon acceptance by the person to whom it is made. There must be a clear intention to enter into a legal contract. For example, here A offer A offers to sell his house to B for 50 lakh. So this is consideration against proposal. Consideration. We will also deal with the definition of consideration in next class. So here A offers to sell his house to B for 50 lakh. This indicates this consideration indicates that his intention to enter into a legal contract. Take the related case law to it, Balfour versus Balfour. The fact of this case is Mr. Balfour, while working abroad, made a promise to his wife, Mrs. Balfour, to provide her with an allowance of £30 per month while he was away. So here मिस्टर बेल्फर ने प्रॉमिस किया अपनी वाइफ को कि उनको पर मंथ कुछ सर्टेन अमाउंट ऑफ मनी एज अ अलाउंस देंगे. अपॉन रिटर्निंग मिस्टर बेल्फर स्टॉप पेइंग द अलाउंस लीडिंग मिस्टर बेल्फर टू सू हिम फॉर ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. वापस आने पर मिस्टर बेल्फर ने वो अलाउंस देना बंद कर दिया तो मिसेस बेल्फर ने उनके अगेंस्ट केस फाइल कर दिया फॉर ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. So in this case, the court held that the promise made by Mr. Belfer to his wife was considered domestic arrangement rather than a legal contract. यहाँ पे जो हस्बैंड और वाइफ मिस्टर बेल्फर एंड मिसेस बेल्फर के बीच में जो प्रॉमिस हुआ है वो सिर्फ एक डोमेस्टिक अरेंजमेंट है, लीगल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं है. एक एग्रीमेंट को इन्फोर्स होने के लिए देयर मस्ट बी एन इंटेंशन टू क्रिएट लीगल रिलेशन. और सारे एग्रीमेंट जो होते हैं बिटवीन पार्टीज वो आर नॉट इंटेंडेड टू बी लीगली बाइंडिंग especially in domestic and social contracts. So the court held that mere offer and acceptance of hospitality without any intention to enter into contract does not bind the party. So there must be intention to create legal relation. The third intention is definite and unambiguous terms. The terms of the offer must be clear and definite. जो टर्म्स होंगे ऑफर के वो क्लियर होने चाहिए, डेफिनाइट होने चाहिए, वेग नहीं होने चाहिए. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ए ऑफर्स टू सेल हिज कार टू बी फॉर 3 lakh. The terms car, price, the color must be specific and clear. Section 29 states that agreements, the meaning of which is not certain, are void. So, Section 29 of the Indian Contract Act also mentioned that agreements जिसकी meaning certain नहीं है, clear नहीं है, definite नहीं है, वो void होंगे. The fourth essential condition is communication. The offer must be communicated to the offeree. जो offer है वो offeree तक communicate होना चाहिए. For example, A sent a letter to B offering to sell his bike for rupees 50,000. B reads the letter and is now aware of the offer. So here A communicates to B his intention to sell his bike. So the offeree must aware of the offer. The leading case or the famous case of related to this is Lalman Shukla versus Gauri Dutt, 1913. The facts of this case are Gauri Dutt, the defendant, had advertised that he had lost a nephew and promised a reward of rupees 501 to anyone who could find and bring back his nephew. तो यहाँ पे जो गौरी दत्त हैं, जो डिफेंडेंट है, उन्होंने एक एडवर्टाइज निकाला है कि उनका नेफ्यू जो है वो लॉस्ट हो गया है और उन्होंने प्रॉमिस किया है 501 का रिवॉर्ड टू एनीवन हु कुड फाइंड एंड ब्रिंग बैक हिज नेफ्यू. तो लालमन शुक्ला, हु वाज नॉट अवेयर ऑफ द एडवर्टाइजमेंट, फाउंड द मिसिंग नेफ्यू एंड ब्रॉट हिम बैक. लालमन शुक्ला को इस एडवर्टाइजमेंट के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता है और वो जो गौरी दत्त का मिसिंग नेफ्यू है उसको वापस ले आते हैं ढूंढ के. तो गौरी दत्त however refused to pay the reward, arguing that Shukla was not aware of the offer at the time he found the nephew. तो here गौरी दत्त जो है वो रिफ्यूज़ कर देते हैं, मना कर देते हैं रिवॉर्ड देने से, क्योंकि जो लालमन शुक्ला है उनको पता ही नहीं है उस ऑफर के बारे में जिस टाइम पे उन्होंने नेफ्यू को ढूंढा. So in this case, the court held that for a contract to be valid, the offeree must have knowledge of the offer at the time of performance. कोर्ट ने कहा कि एक कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को वैलिड होने के लिए जो ऑफरी है उसको नॉलेज होनी चाहिए ऑफर की जब वो उस एक्ट को परफॉर्म कर रहा है. सिंस लालमन शुक्ला डिड नॉट नो अबाउट गौरी दत्त ऑफर व्हेन ही परफॉर्म द एक्ट, ही कुड नॉट क्लेम द रिवॉर्ड. और लालमन शुक्ला को गौरी दत्त के ऑफर के बारे में पता ही नहीं है तो वो रिवॉर्ड को क्लेम नहीं कर सकते हैं. दिस ऑफर मस्ट बी communicated to the offeree and acceptance without knowledge of the offer is not valid. So the court held that the acceptance of the offer without knowledge of the offer is not valid. The next essential condition is intended to obtain assent. The offer must be made with the intention of obtaining the assent of the other party. जो ऑफर है वो उस इंटेंशन से करना होना चाहिए कि हमें दूसरे पर्सन की जिसको हम ऑफर कर रहे हैं उसकी हमें एसेंट लेनी है. द ऑफर मस्ट be made with the intention of obtaining the assent of the other party. Here, A offers to hire B for a job with a salary of rupees 40,000 per month, expecting B to accept and start working. तो यहाँ पे जो A है उसका ये इंटेंशन है कि B उसके ऑफर को एक्सेप्ट करे और काम करना शुरू करे. So here the offerer must have the intention of obtaining the assent of the offeree. The next one is not induced by fraud or misrepresentation. Means the offer जो है वो must not be induced by fraud, misrepresentation, undue influence or mistake. The words fraud, misrepresentation, undue influence or mistake, we will deal with it in upcoming classes. So here A offers to sell a painting to B claiming it is an original when it is not. तो यहाँ पे A जो है वो ऑफर कर रहा है B को एक पेंटिंग और क्लेम कर रहा है कि ये ओरिजिनल है जबकि वो ओरिजिनल नहीं है. तो यहाँ पे ये ऑफर क्या है, इज इंड्यूस बाय मिस रिप्रेजेंटेशन, मिस रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है A B को, तो ये वैलिड ऑफर नहीं होगा. सो द ऑफर must not be induced by fraud or misrepresentation. Offer may be conditional. The next essential condition is the offer may be conditional. While acceptance cannot be conditional, an offer might be conditional. Means जो ऑफर क्या है वो कंडीशनल हो सकता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल A can offer to sell goods to B if he makes half of the payment in advance. तो यहाँ पे A ने एक कंडीशन पुट कर दी कि वो B को गुड्स बेचेगा अगर B पेमेंट एडवांस में कर दे. तो here the offer is conditional. The offerer can make the offer subject to any terms or condition he deems necessary. The next one, offer cannot contain a negative condition. For example, A offers to sell his cows to B for 5,000. If the offer is not rejected by Monday, it will be considered as accepted. This is not a valid offer. यहाँ पे A ने B को अपनी काव बेचने का ऑफर दिया है, खरीदने का ऑफर दिया है और कहा है इफ द ऑफर जो है वो अगर मंडे तक बी ने रिजेक्ट नहीं किया तो वो मान लिया जाएगा कि एक्सेप्टेड है. सो दिस इज़ नॉट अ वैलिड ऑफर. The non-compliance of any terms of the offer cannot lead to automatic acceptance of the offer. किसी जो ऑफर्स के टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस हैं, अगर उसका नॉन कंप्लायंस है तो उसको ऑटोमेटिक एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं माना जा सकता. अगर उस जो टर्म्स एंड कंडीशन है उसको फुलफिल नहीं कर रहा है ऑफरी, तो it cannot lead to automatic acceptance of the offer. Hence it cannot say that if acceptance is not communicated by a certain time it will be considered as accepted. तो ये नहीं कहा जा सकता कि अगर एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं दे रहा है और जो ऑफर है वो सॉरी ऑफरी जो है वो एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं दे रहा है ऑफर को बाय अ सर्टेन टाइम, तो इट विल नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड एज एक्सेप्टेड. तो ऑफर कैन नॉट और कंटेन अ नेगेटिव कंडीशन. ऑफर कंडीशनल हो सकता है बट डज नॉट कंटेन अ नेगेटिव कंडीशन. एक्सप्रेस एंड इम्प्लाइड ऑफर. A valid proposal may be made by words. एक्सप्रेस ऑफर हो सकता है या फिर बाय कंडक्ट हो सकता है. तो प्रपोजल जो है वो एक्सप्रेस ऑफर के थ्रू भी हो सकता है, बाय वर्ड्स और बाय कंडक्ट. नाउ come to the next topic, types of offer or proposal. The first type is specific proposal, the second one is general proposal, and the third cross, and a fourth one is counter proposal. So let's start with specific proposal. When the offer is made to a specific person or group of person, acceptance of such an offer can only be made by the person or person to whom it is addressed. तो स्पेसिफिक प्रपोजल का क्या मतलब है कि जो ऑफर जो किसी स्पेसिफिक पर्सन को अगर ऑफर किया गया है तो एक्सेप्टेंस भी वही पर्सन करेगा. एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ सच एन ऑफर कैन ओनली बी मेड बाय द पर्सन टू होम इट इज एड्रेस. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, ए राइट्स अ लेटर टू बी offering to sell his bike for rupees 30,000. Only B can accept this offer. Here A offers to B to sell his bike. So only B can accept this offer. So this is a specific proposal made to a specific person or group of person. The famous case is Bolton versus Jones. Jones made a specific offer to Brocklehurst, but the business was sold to Bolton, who accepted the order without informing Johns. तो जॉन ने स्पेसिफिक ऑफर किया है ब्रोकलहर्स्ट को, लेकिन बिजनेस किसको बेच दिया गया है, बोल्टन को. वो एक्सेप्टेड द ऑर्डर विदाउट इन्फॉर्मिंग जॉन्स, और जॉन को इस बारे में पता नहीं है. It was held that Bolton could not enforce the contract as the offer was made to Brocklehurst specifically. तो ये कहा गया इस केस में कि बोल्टन जो है वो इस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट को इन्फोर्स नहीं कर सकता क्योंकि ऑफर जो है वो उसको ना करके ब्रोकलहर्स्ट को स्पेसिफिकली ऑफर किया गया था. So this is a specific proposal. When the offer is made to a specific person or group of person, the acceptance must be made by that person only to whom it is addressed. General proposal. The next step is general proposal. When the offer is made to the public at large, anyone who performs the condition of the proposal can accept it. तो जहाँ पे proposal जो है ये ऑफर जो है वो एक लार्ज पब्लिक को दिया गया है और anyone who performs the condition of the proposal वो उसको accept कर सकता है. For example, A publish an advertisement offering a reward of 10,000 to anyone who finds and returns his lost dog. So here A publish an advertisement offering a reward of rupees 10,000. तो जो भी पर्सन उसके लॉस्ट डॉग को फाइंड करेगा और रिटर्न करेगा तो उसको वो रिवॉर्ड दे दिया जाएगा. So here he made an offer to the public at large. Anyone who performs the condition is find and return his lost dog can accept the offer and get the reward of rupees 10,000. So this is a proposal to the public at large called the general proposal. So in this case, the court held that the company advertisement is an offer made to all the world, and Mrs. Carlyle comes forward and performs the condition. So the performance of the condition of the offer amounts to the acceptance of the offer, and the company has legal obligation to reward Mrs. Carlyle. in this case. So this is one of the famous case related to the general proposal. The third type is cross proposal. When two parties make identical offers to each other at the same time without knowledge of the other's offer. These offers do not result in a contract as they do not constitute acceptance of each other. Two parties makes identical offer to each other same time में without knowledge of the other offers. For example, A offers to sell his house to B for rupees 50,000 through letter. On the same day, without knowing about A offers, B also sent a letter to A offering to buy the same house for rupees 50,000. Here, A ने ऑफर किया B को अपना घर बेचने के लिए और B ने सेम डे पे विदाउट नोइंग अबाउट A ऑफर्स सेंड अ लेटर टू A एंड ऑफरिंग टू बाय द सेम हाउस। A का घर खरीदने के लिए उसने सेम प्रपोजल दे दिया। तो यहाँ पे क्रॉस ऑफर हो गया, ए ने बी को, बी ने ए को विदाउट हैविंग नॉलेज ऑफ ईच अदर्स ऑफर make identical offers to each other at the same time. So these offers do not result in a contract. ये जो ऑफर्स होंगे वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं बन सकते एज डू नॉट कॉन्स्टिट्यूट एक्सेप्टेंस। एक्सेप्टेंस है ही नहीं एक दूसरे का। सो दिस इज अ क्रॉस प्रपोजल। The case related to it is Tin versus Hoffman and Company. Tin or Hoffman sends offers to each other for the sale and propose of iron at the same price. Tin ने और Hoffman ने एक दूसरे को ऑफर किया आयरन को खरीदने और बेचने के लिए एक सेम प्राइस पे। The court held that the cross offer did not amount to a contract as they were made without the knowledge of each other offers. For a proposal to be valid, there must be knowledge or communication of offer. So here the cross offer did not amount to a contract as they were made without the knowledge of each other offers. The fourth one is counter proposal. When the offeree respond to an offer with a modification or change in terms, thus rejecting the original offer and presenting a new one. For example, A offers to sell his car to B for rupees 50 lakh, 5 lakh, but B replies that he is willing to buy it for rupees 4 lakh 50,000. B replies is a counter proposal which A can accept or reject. Here जो ऑफरर है A वो अपनी कार को बेचने का ऑफर कर रहा है B को फॉर 5 lakh. But B replies that he is willing to buy it for rupees 4 lakh 50,000. So the offeree responds to an offer with a modification. Here B makes a modification or change in terms, that is he is willing to buy it for rupees 4,050 lakh. So this B's reply is a counter proposal which A can accept or reject. बी ने रिजेक्ट कर दिया ओरिजिनल ऑफर को और एक नया ऑफर प्रेजेंट किया है जिसको ए एक्सेप्ट भी कर सकता है और रिजेक्ट भी कर सकता है. सो हियर बी रिस्पॉन्ड टू एन ऑफर विद अ मॉडिफिकेशन और चेंज इन टर्म. दिस इज कॉल्ड काउंटर प्रपोजल. ए ने बी को प्रपोजल दिया और बी ने रिप्लाई में उसमें कुछ चेंज या मॉडिफिकेशन करके ए को ऑफर दिया है, thus rejecting the original offer and presenting a new one. The case related to it is Hyde versus Wrench. Wrench offered to sell his farm to Hyde for £1,000. Hyde counter offered to buy it for rupees £950. So यहाँ पे Wrench ने ऑफर किया अपने फार्म हाउस हाइट को फॉर a certain amount, but Hyde counter offered to buy it for rupees £950. Wrench refused and Hyde later accepted the original offer. It was held that the counter offer by Hyde nullified the original offer and there was no contract. So here Wrench ने ऑफर किया Hyde को for to sell his farm for £1,000, but Hyde counter offer to buy it for rupees 950. So it was held that the counter offer by Hyde nullified the original offer and there was no contract. यहाँ पे हाइट के काउंटर ऑफर से जो ओरिजिनल ऑफर था वो नलिफाइड हो गया और कोई भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दोनों के बीच में नहीं हुआ. सो दिस इज अ counter proposal when the offeree responds to an offer with a certain modification or change in term and rejecting the original offer. So there are four types of proposal. First one is a specific proposal, second one general proposal, third one cross proposal, and fourth one is counter proposal. The topic for next class is invitation to offer, invitation to offer, and the difference between invitation to offer and offer, and the case related to it, case laws. So this is for today. Thank you.